Crystal Beaudry here with Crystal's Clean Kitchen, where we help make clean eating a lifestyle. So we have an awesome recipe for you today. Now, on my channel, the last couple of weeks, we've been doing a series all about the fun things that you can make with cottage cheese. In today's episode, we are going to be making a strawberry cheesecake made with cottage cheese. Now, I've already done a couple of different versions of this episode and people have loved them so much. I did a pumpkin one and I also did a chocolate one. So we're doing a strawberry one today. You guys, you're going to love it and you're going to want to try it immediately. Now, this recipe is low carb friendly, it's keto approved, and the best part about it is that it is packed with protein. It's the perfect snack or dessert for any time of the day. Thank you so much for watching. Would you do me a huge favor though? Hit that like button, only because it's going to help the algorithm pick this video up a little bit faster. Thank you so much. Here's all the ingredients that you are going to need. So we're going to start with 1 cup of some cottage cheese, a splash of vanilla, 1 egg, probably about 1/4 cup of some cut up strawberries, 2 tablespoons of whatever kind of sweetener that you prefer. So if you want to keep this low carb friendly, you could do some liquid allulose or some powdered. You could do the erythritol monk fruit, or you could do some keto maple syrup. Now, if you don't necessarily care about the carb count, you could add regular maple syrup or some honey as well. Now, before we get started, I'm going to be soaking my berries. Even though they are organic berries, I still need to soak them in some water and some vinegar, just to make sure that the pesticides or any bugs that are still living on them will get off of them. I do 1/2 cup to 1 cup of vinegar. I'll let them soak for about 5 to 10 minutes. So our strawberries are done soaking. You can see the water is just filled with junk. I'm going to drain it out, and then I'm going to rinse it off with some fresh water and then drain it again. Now these are ready to go. I usually put like a paper towel in the bottom of the plastic container again, but you could also store this in a glass container with maybe some paper towels on the bottom to just absorb any of the water. Now, whenever I'm baking with strawberries, I always like to get the strawberries that aren't super ripe and use those ones in my baking, because you can't quite taste it if they're not super ripe, and you will still be able to enjoy it without wasting them, because not tons of people like to eat strawberries that aren't ripe or that aren't perfect. So I'm going to be adding in my 1 cup of cottage cheese into a blender. I'm going to add a little sweetener. I'm using maple syrup, but you can use whatever you want, or you don't even need to add any sweetener. That's fine too. I'm going to do just a couple of strawberries mixed into the blender. Also going to put in my 1 egg, blend it up. Then we're going to be adding it to our dish. I'm going to also be mixing in some of the strawberry chunks. Now, just to troubleshoot, if you find that your cheesecake was way too runny or it just wouldn't thicken up, sometimes that happens because the cottage cheese had just too much liquid in it. So maybe taking a cheesecloth and kind of squeezing it out is a great idea. Otherwise, there is some cottage cheeses that are a little thicker than others, and so that's an option as well. Now, in some of the other videos, people were saying, well, it tastes a little salty, and there is cottage cheese mixtures out there that have way more sodium than others. So if that's a concern, you could also look for that. I know one of the lower sodium cottage cheeses is called Good Culture, so you could check that one out. Okay, I'm going to be baking this for 20 minutes at 350 degrees. When you take it out, you want it to be a little jiggly, but not too jiggly. So I will show you what that looks like. Just pulled it out of the oven. As you can see, it's a little jiggly still. I did cook it for about 23 minutes because I think this cottage cheese had a little bit more water in it than normal. So I'm going to let it cool down on the stovetop for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to be putting it in the refrigerator for at least an hour. So Hannah just got home from school, my daughter, and she wanted to help me make some frosting for the top. So I'm just going to put in probably 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of some heavy whipping cream. Now, you can make this without any sweetener at all. You could add in a low carb sweetener if you want to keep this low carb friendly. I'm just going to add in a little bit of some pure maple syrup. All right, Hannah, you want to turn it on? And then you want to whip it until stiff peaks are formed.
Now we scrape down sides.
Good job. All right, I just pulled this out of the refrigerator. You can tell that the middle kind of sunk a little bit, which is fine because we're going to be putting some whipping cream on the top of it. That looks amazing. Here it is. Let's give it a taste test. This looks so good. Wow. Super good. This is really, really good. You would never guess that this is a protein-packed snack or dessert idea. It's amazing. You guys are going to love it. Well, thank you so much for watching. Now, we do have a couple other flavors of this out too. We have the chocolate one and we have a pumpkin one. Both of them are amazing also. So make sure to check out that. We have our whole cottage cheese series going right now. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And of course, stay tuned for some more great recipes. We'll see you next time.